Ride through the city like Brennan Schaub. I'm on a mission to get it all. Ride through the city like Brennan Schaub. If you ain't thick, please don't get involved.
And now, Brandon Thick Boy Schaub.
What is poppin', fam? Monday morning, January 15th. It's MLK Day. Martin Luther King Day, for those of you that didn't know. That's right, it's a holiday, but here at Thick Boy, we just keep on keeping on. The only holiday we take off is Christmas and Thanksgiving. And then we acknowledge Columbus Day, which is Native American Day. You get the picture. We're out here grinding. What's up, guys? Missed you guys. Had an eventful weekend, which I can't talk about right now, but I will. That's all I'll say. You'll see. It'll be out there. Outside that, man, yeah, everything's good. Everything's good. Kiddo had his first football game yesterday. Straight after that, he had tryouts for his all-star team. Just that dad life, man. Just living the dad life. Just straight up dad life. I'm in bed by 9 these days, up at 4, so that's cool. As far as fight news goes, you got UFC. What is it? What is the Strickland Du Plessis? Is UFC 297? 297. You got UFC 297. It's the first big pay-per-view of the year of 2024. UFC 297. I'm not going to sugarcoat this thing. I'm not going to put sugar all over your wiener and tell you it's delicious. This is not the best card. If you didn't have the main event of Sean Strickland and Du Plessis, this would be a bad fight night. Straight up. It'd be a bad fight night. So, you're just paying for the main event. Arnold Allen, most of ours a good one. It's tough. I'm trying to be cool. I'm trying to be positive. It's Monday. It's a Martin Luther King Day, so I'm trying to stay on the positive vibe here. But it's a tough pay-per-view. The good news. Here's the good news. The main event is Sean Strickland, DDP. Also, the good news is there will be a live fight companion with Mr. Joseph Rogan and the legend himself coming all the way from New Jersey in Joey Diaz. And then the absolute best, Eddie Bravo, and myself, that will be live on JRE YouTube, and then will be uploaded to Spotify on Saturday at 7 p.m. Pacific time. So make sure you guys tune into that. It's my favorite thing to do, so that should be a fun one. I'll be in Austin for exactly one night, and then I will be back out there the following weekend because I have 2 shows that next Friday, Saturday at the Vulcan Gas Company, the Step Mothership. And that Thursday before, I'm in Nashville for one night only, 2 shows in Nashville at Zany's. So come get you some. Tickets at thickboy.com. Let's sell these bitches out, all right? But let's get into the fights, man. You got a fight over the weekend. Again, not the best, but still it was an important fight in the light heavyweight division. Magomed, Johnny Walker, been a frustrating matchup. I'm never a fan of when something happens in a fight and I poke, groin, whatever, and then they rebook it. I'm like, I'm over it. I'm over it. This one they just couldn't move past. They had to get it done to kind of clear up the light heavyweight division, who's going to be the next contender. Magomed took care of business. He got a huge finish over Johnny Walker. Now, Johnny Walker versus Alex Pierre is a much more sellable fight, funner fight. But we're not going to see that. So Magomed, made it enticing by getting a big knockout with a KO punch. So, I feel bad for Johnny Walker. This was his shot. Who knows? The light heavyweight division's pretty slim. So he rips off 2 wins. You're right back in there. But, Magomed, I did not think he was going to win via KO. That's for sure. But he got it done. So I would assume he's next in line, which is he's just a nightmare of a matchup for Alex Pierre. Unfortunately, it's a bummer because I'm a big Alex fan. So we'll see what they're going to do with that. Jim effing Miller got it done, and then he's campaigning to get on UFC 300. I assume the UFC is going to do that. They need something positive for UFC 300 right now. And you're out your God-freaking-loving mind if you think 300's in any facet is going to be better than UFC 299. UFC 299 is so stacked. That thing is so tasty. UFC 299 is so damn good. So, again, 300, I think the fans are used to, especially the hardcores who came up, where 100 was a big deal, 200 was a big deal. If you're new to the sport and you just got on board because Jake Paul started talking about these guys and you're a young Generation Z or whatever the hell you call yourself, you probably have no expectations for 300. You're like, it's just a number. It's not a big deal. But for the hardcores, the old heads out there, 300 is a big deal. The UFC knows it's a big deal to us, so they're trying to do their best to stack it. I think they're working with some elements that are out of their control with Ramadan. And, when you look at the actual star power of the UFC, it's not like it was back in the 100 days or the 200 days. And then the one megastar that they booked later in International Fight Week in Conor McGregor, and who knows if that even happens. So I think the UFC is trying their best. And Dana White's taking a lot of heat right now. Obviously they announced they're doing a bunch of fights at the Apex Center, which is frustrating. So I get why they do it from a business standpoint. And then also, Dana White's like, I got a big fight announcement, and he announces the China on China fight with Weili versus Yan. So, it's a great fight, but I just think if you've been following the UFC for a long time, we just expected more. It's a great fight. If it's on UFC 299, 298, 297, could definitely use the help. 301, 303, 305, 306. You're like, damn, this is sick. But our expectations are so high because they haven't called out a big fight, like a mind-blowing fight. We're like, oh my God, this is insane. We just haven't had that yet. A Stipe Aspinall, an Aspinall Piera, an Izzy winner of Du Plessis, Strickland. That could still happen. There's been rumblings of Khabib, which is hilarious. I started the rumor of Nick Diaz coming back and GSP, right? With no credibility, just looking off his Instagram. That went, bonkers. So the Khabib thing, because that's just the hardcore is trying to figure out, like, we're used to the UFC, come up with something. Like Khabib, even the Khabib thing, I'm like, you're out of your mind. That there's not a shot. And Khabib cleared that up. That's not happening. I'm just curious, if you're Belal Muhammad and Leon Edwards, what's the hesitation there? Why isn't that being announced for you? That's a shoo-in for 300. Now, again, that is a great fight of two guys that should be, one's the champion, defending champion. The other's Belal Muhammad, who deserves it more than anybody. What's the hesitation there? There's something going on there. That's something that you guys should look into, or it's something you should focus on. There's a reason that match hasn't been made. Something's going on there. I don't know what it is, but there's some mega fight there that we're waiting on that they're going to announce. Because the UFC knows for 300, if the main event's Leon Edwards, Belal Muhammad, that doesn't do it. That doesn't satisfy the hardcore. So there's something going on there. Izzy's also going to be in town in Toronto this Saturday, sitting ringside, not Khamzat. So that should be noted as well. Khamzat was told he was guaranteed the next title shot. Dana's never said that publicly. Khamzat saying that, putting pressure on the UFC. It's just tough because he has one middleweight win over Mershart, who wasn't even ranked at the time, and then he beat Kamaru Usman, who's not an 85er. Now you get a title shot. And again, I hang off his hairy Dagestani Chechenian nuts. I love me some Khamzat. I love him. That is a tough sell. That is a tough sell. Bo Nickel has more wins at middleweight. I'd rather Bo Nickel get the shot. Or Bo Nickel Khamzat fight. Even though they announced a Bo Nickel fight, you're like, come on, let's go. How long are we going to build this kid up? So the UFC has something up their sleeve. Depending how the Sean Strickland and DDP fight happens, you got Izzy ringside. We'll see. Izzy had a court case for his DUI, and one of their arguments was he can't work if they're going to put in these disciplinary actions. So is that a nod to, hey, he's going to fight soon? He's going to fight at 300. If you do this, he won't be able to fight. He's back training. So I would assume the big nail biter there would be Sean Strickland, DDP, depending how it goes. If all out war might be tough, because UFC 300's in what? January, February, March, April, May. Is it June?
I'll look right now.
Because the timing of it,
April.
So DDP and Strickland fight in January. So January, February, March, April. Ooh, it's a tough turnaround. Guys have done it. And I know Strickland would be down. So if Strickland wins, I would assume you get Izzy Strickland for UFC 300. That would be a big fight that would do it, you know. Or if Strickland wins, you get Strickland, you know, if he wins and he's not injured, you get Strickland, Hamzat maybe. But something's going on with Leon Edwards, Bilal Muhammad. How have they not announced that? They have announced all these big fights. There's nothing. There's no rumblings. Isn't that weird?
I mean, because obviously it doesn't really sell that well. Bilal, it sucks, but
I know.
That's probably one of them.
You think they'd still announce and put a title fight, because usually they stack the title fights on the UFC 100, 200, 300. That's what they're known for. Yeah. So even though that's not like this crazy fight that's going to...
He deserves it for sure.
Yeah, he deserves it, but it would also be another title fight added to 300.
Yeah, so that's what we were talking about.
You have Weili, who's fighting for a title. All right, there's one. You have Bilal Muhammad and Leon. There's two. Then that third one could be Strickland, Izzy, could be Strickland, Hamzat, could be Strickland,
DDP.
Bo Nichols, or it could be DDP.
Yep.
DDP Strickland would be the big...
Izzy, right?
DDP Izzy is the one that the UFC's in their mind, like, oh God, I hope DDP wins. So and not that they don't like Strickland, he's a bigger star than DDP, but DDP versus Izzy, they can sell for 300.
For sure, yeah.
And they're going to back up the Brinks trucks for Izzy for that to happen in April. So the question is, what happens on Saturday's main event? To me, it's the toughest fight in quite some time to call. Usually, these things. I mean, it's MMA, so you know nothing surprises me anymore. Nothing at all these days. Anything can happen. There's too many ways to lose. A guy doesn't show up, had a bad cut, he's tired, whatever. Things happen. It's MMA. There's a million ways to lose, so nothing surprises me. But this fight is tough to call. Super tough to call. You know, DDP and Strickland is a fight where we'll learn early on where if Strickland's going to win this fight, you know, and it's 5 rounds, which is a huge advantage to Strickland. His cardio is absolutely insane. His pace is insane. Early on, especially in the first, second round, if Strickland can impose his will and use his cardio and pressure to get DDP on his back foot, this is a good sign if you're a Strickland fan. So if Strickland can dictate the pace, he's going to blow DDP out of the water. If he can dictate the pace, just like he did with Izzy, just like he's done before, and avoid the big shot, which I think he's learned from the Alex Pereira fight, not to play that game. If he can control the pace, if he can continue to put DDP on his back foot, he's going to blow the doors off DDP. That's easier said than done because this is a clash of styles. You have one guy that likes to apply pressure like Strickland, you know, and use his pace and break guys down and mentally break their will through cardio. Then you got DDP, who doesn't really go backwards. He comes forward, not the most technical guy, even though he is technical. It's like saying Gaethje's not technical. Gaethje's technical in his own right. DDP is awkward, but for his style, it's very technical. Although it doesn't look like it to the trained eye, he's very, very technical. We saw it in the Whitaker fight. So for DDP, it's going to be controlling Strickland's pace, getting Strickland to go backwards, not just hovering around the cage. Once his foot does go past that black line, circling out and turning around and kind of imposing his power shots and, you know, his will on Strickland. So this is going to be an interesting battle here because both guys need to control the pace. Whoever controls the pace wins the fight. Nobody's better at controlling the pace and changing the narrative of a fight than Sean Strickland. So that's why I err towards Sean Strickland in this fight, because besides Alex Pereira, he just breaks dudes. He breaks everybody. So I just think DDP is going to have a hard time. And I also don't think not only the fan base, even if you're a big Sean Strickland fan, but just fight fans in general don't realize how technically, defensively good Strickland is. So I do think he can avoid the big shot from DDP. Now, that being said, if DDP lands one in these 25 minutes, it could be a short night for Strickland. But I do think Strickland's learned from the Alex Pereira fight. I think he controls the pace, and I think he melts DDP. And I know DDP's coaches have came out and defended his cardio before and said, oh, he had, you know, nose surgery and he was at 5% breathing capabilities. But that is something to make a note of, that he's not, out of all DDP's strengths, and there's a lot of them, cardio wouldn't be in the top 5. For Strickland, probably number 1. So when you have that vast difference in cardio, I'm going to err on the side of the guy who went out there and kind of melted Izzy. He's melted all these guys, man. And I think he can do it to DDP. He just has to avoid that huge African bomb. You know, that's just the number one caveat there. He has to be smart. And I don't think people are respectful of how goddamn good Strickland defensive boxing is. And I think DDP is going to learn. And can he beat him in the rematch? Yes. But I think in this first fight, Strickland's so awkward and just so damn good. And there's only one way you learn that. That's by being in the octagon. By the time you learn it, it's too late. You're in the 4th round, and he's melting your soul. He's going to break your soul. The other thing to note here is we haven't seen Strickland this. He's not mentally broke, but this upset by trash talk. Usually if you look at the weigh-ins and the guys are trash talking, even though he's having fun at the press conference, even with Izzy, it's never personal. He always like, you know, he'll poke fun at guys and have do his thing, and we love him for that. But it's never that personal, and we don't see him upset. This is the first time we've seen Sean Strickland personally offended, you know, and you can see, you know, they came sit next to each other. He's fighting him. So is that an issue for Strickland? Is Strickland at a championship level where he that doesn't affect his game? He can still maintain a level head and not use, you know, this anger to trade shots with DDP. Something to be said. He definitely needs to, and I'm sure his coach Thiccc knows this. You know, he knows that Sean needs to fight smart and you can fight with his head and not his heart, and you know, because DDP will make you pay. So all that being said, I do have Sean Strickland winning this fight. I have him win this fight. I think he can TKO him in the 4th round. I would say it's a late TKO just because the cardio, he wears DDP down, eventually lands big shots and gets him out of there, or it's via decision. And I think he wins 4 rounds, probably 3 to 4 rounds. I don't think he, pitches a shutout because I think that first round he's going to be feeling him out. He might not be able to apply the pressure, but as the fight goes on, as we've seen with DDP, his cardio is something you should be worried about if you put money on him. When it comes to Strickland, again, go back to DDP there. Mm-hmm. The Darren Till fight, you saw some cardio issues. The Derek Brunson one, obviously with the – where was the one fight I'm thinking of? Obviously with the Robert Whittaker, he didn't have to show cardio there. He finished him early in the 2nd round. So, but the Derek Brunson fight, there's some questions. Definitely the Darren Till, the Brad Tavares. And when I see that, and not to mention he's never gone 5 rounds, especially in the UFC as a main event. Sean Strickland's been in much bigger fights. So all signs to me point towards Sean Strickland, unless he gets caught, which can definitely happen. But my money would be on Sean Strickland. I think we need to show him a little more respect. I think just going, Izzy had a bad night, Strickland's not that good, that ain't going to work for me. The kid's damn good. Damn good.
Can we bet on it?
Yes.
Oh, so I definitely take DDP.
Yeah, I get it. And after DDP, what he did to Robert Whittaker, it's nuts. I can definitely see. I'm not confident. I'm not throwing 50 G's on Strickland, but yeah, we can bet it. What do you want to bet?
Lunch or $50?
Let's do lunch at the place up there.
All right, cool. Sounds good.
What do you lunch? Case, who you got?
I don't know on this one.
This one's tough.
Yeah.
I can see both guys winning.
I feel like
you see a route to victory for both guys.
It may just be recency bias, but I feel like Strickland's going to get it done. It's just a feeling. I don't know.
Go to Strickland's record there, Chin.
I just envision the DDP taking him out early.
If he wins, that's how it's going down. Yeah, if he wins, it's definitely early. It's first, 2nd round. Big bomb. As Strickland does lean back, it's that big bomb, and I can see him trying to grapple. I think people are going to be surprised with how good Strickland's grappling is. Yeah, Strickland just be melting dudes, though.
No, he's a great fighter for sure.
If you take out Izzy, let's say you're a Strickland hater, and you're going to say, who has Strickland beat? His strength of schedule. Who has Strickland beat? Take out the Izzy win. Let's say Izzy had an off night, so All right, your excuse for him beating the greatest middleweight of all time is he had an off night. Strickland's not that good. Before that, he beat Magomedov. He melted that dude, performance of the night. Then at light heavyweight, short notice, Imavov, he beat the brakes off him, melted him. But before that, he had a split decision loss where he didn't look fantastic against Cannonier. And does DDP beat Cannonier? I think so. And then he obviously got starched by Alex Pereira. His best win, if you take out Strickland, is...
If you take out Izzy.
Yeah, I'm sorry. We're talking about Strickland. If you take out Izzy, his best win would be Jack Hermanson. Right?
Yeah, but these are all like pretty damn. Even Imavov was good. Jocko is good. Brendan Allen.
Brendan Allen's really good.
Yeah. He has like pretty damn good wins, yeah. Nordine Talal.
Probably Brendan Allen's the most impressive.
Especially what Brendan's
even though it
doing
was
now.
4 years ago. Was that a catch weight?
Yeah.
At 195? That's probably his best win, right?
Especially what Brendan's doing
Yeah,
now,
that's what I'm saying with the surgeon Brendan Allen. And then go to DDP. I'm just trying to compare strength of schedule here. Robert Whittaker, KO, that's a big deal.
That's so huge.
He's only lost to a man named Izzy. That's the only person that beats Whittaker. And he starched him. Derek Brunson's a good win. He's a tough fucking customer. Darren Till, good win. Brad Tavares, good win. And the one guy he beat before and then he lost before he got to the UFC at KSW, Roberto Soldic, the Croatian monster from one championship. No punk. That guy's a savage, and he beat him. He also lost him, but he also beat him. Yeah, you give strength of schedule to DDP, especially the knockout win over Robert Whittaker.
Yeah.
Tough fight to call, dude. Right?
That's what makes it fun, though.
Yeah, I'm so excited for this. I don't even care about the rest of the card.
There's not much.
Arnold Allen's a fun one.
Yeah,
that's a
true.
tough fight for him.
Yeah, and your boy Magny's on there.
Yep, Neil's on there.
Against Malott.
Chris Curtis is on there. Man, rest of that card is disgusting. It's insulting. It's insulting, right? Because the UFC knows they're in Toronto. Canada loves MMA. They'll sell this thing out even if you didn't have that main event. Raquel Pennington and Silva could sell this thing out in Canada. The UFC knows this. Like, we don't care. You guys aren't going to do shit. You don't watch. It's going to sell out. It's Toronto.
Speaking of
Toronto, it's going down this Saturday. Watch the Fight Companion live on JRE YouTube with Joey Diaz, Joseph Rogan, Eddie Bravo, and myself. And you can watch it with us and also make some money. UFC 297 is bringing the read says stacked fight card to Toronto, but we'll just say they're bringing a fight card to Toronto. And throwing down on the action with DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of the UFC. We will take your excitement level north of the border. New customers can bet $5 and get $200 instantly in bonus bets. As I mentioned, Strickland, DDP, flip a coin, take the bet. There's a reason why the odds are so close. If I were to put money on it, I'd take Sean Strickland via TKO. Because you know a prop bet, that's where you make money. Or Sean Strickland via decision. That's probably your best bet to parlay there. Take the props. And then I think Arnold Allen gets it done as well. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app with the code SCHAUBSHOW. That's SCHAUB SHOW. New customers bet just $5 on UFC 297 and get $200 instantly in bonus bets only on DraftKings Sportsbook with the code SCHAUBSHOW. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.1800gambler.net. In New York, call 8778-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly on behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas. 21 plus, age varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. See dkng.com/MMA for eligibility and deposit restrictions, terms, and responsible gaming resources.
O'Reilly.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. And I'm going to be using them because I might have messed up one of my vehicles. We'll have some news for you on that very soon. It's a disaster. How long has it been since you totaled your truck? How long has it been since you changed your spark plugs? Replacing your spark plugs can restore efficiency and performance to your vehicle. Right now at O'Reilly Auto Parts, get a $12 O'Reilly gift card after rebate when you purchase 4 or more select AC Delco spark plugs. Maintain your performance and fuel mileage with the new spark plugs from O'Reilly Auto Parts. You can also improve visibility with new wiper blades. Wish I had those as well. Right now, save $12 on a pair of Rain X Rugged XL wiper blades, plus get 2 times O rewards points. And extra large profile and premium features make Rugged XL blades the right choice for extreme weather driving and durability. If you're in Iowa, you probably wish you had these right now. The professional parts people will even install your new wiper blades for free. If you have no clue what you're doing, like Brian Callen, have them install it. They're wiper blades. For spark plugs to wiper blades and more, save right now. Do it right deals in store at O'Reilly Auto Parts. All you got to go to is your local O'Reilly Auto Parts or go to O'ReillyAuto.com. O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Last one.
Ow!
Progressive.
Progressive. Boy, this is spot on today. Speaking of insurance, tell you what, man. This episode of the Schaub Show, Strickland DDP, is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. All right? You can call the shots on your auto insurance. Enter the name price tool from Progressive. The name your price tool puts you in charge of your auto insurance by working just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, then they'll show you the variety of coverages that fit within your budget, giving you options. You can pick. It's not all cookie cutter. Let them know your budget. Boom. They figure out a plan for you. Now, that's something you'll want to press play on right now. It's easy to start a quote. You'll be able to choose the best option for you fast. It's just one of the many ways you can save with Progressive Insurance. Quote today at Progressive.com to try name your price tool for yourself and join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law. Progressive.
All righty. Current events?
Sure, bud.
So since the fight that happened over the weekend with Walker and Ankalaev, Ankalaev called out Alex Pereira.
Of course.
And Alex said he wants Hill, and then I guess Glover Teixeira, who's his coach, said he said soon with Ankalaev, like very soon.
Couldn't they do Ankalaev for UFC 300? Because he didn't get hurt.
That's true.
You could do Pierre Ankalaev. Again, is that a blockbuster?
No.
Nope.
Not right now, at least.
I think it was Johnny Walker Ankalaev. That's funner.
It would be more fun for sure. And Hill's manager said that he's not sure he's going to be done with that Achilles injury.
His Achilles injury and also the lawsuit.
Oh, that stuff, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't it's tough.
But if he did fight Ankalaev did mention that he would not do any takedowns. Which,
that's a bad
do you believe
idea.
that or not?
No, I don't.
Yeah.
Alex Pereira's like, wait, what? You do what? Everyone thinks it's fun and games until you get in there and you're with a world-class kickboxer and you're not a world-class kickboxer and they hit the shit out of you. That'd be great, though.
Yeah. If you actually
It's also a good way to get a title fight. The UFC's like, really? You're going to do takedowns? He's like, I promise. Hit Hike.
All right. You already mentioned this earlier, but so I wanted to talk about this a little bit. The reason why this rumor came out is because there's like this audio recording of Javier Mendez saying something like, Khabib usually doesn't train with me unless he's getting ready for a fight. He goes, I'm not saying he's getting ready for a fight, but when he trains with me, there's potential there. He kept saying that over
but
and
he
over
came
again.
out and clarified
afterwards on Helen Yee's thing.
Because it went viral and everyone's like, Khabib's fighting.
Yeah. So he did say with
Javier Mendez says Khabib is back training with him for the first time since he retired back in 2020 and gives update on potential comeback. He's always training, but he's never trained with me. You understand? He's been training, but he's never trained with me. Only when he fights, he trains with me. That I can tell you. Whether he fights or not, I don't know, but he's training with me, so you can take that for what it's worth. But didn't he clear it up?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I bet Khabib called him like, hey, man.
Yeah.
My social media is blowing up, dude.
Yeah, so in this clip, I don't know what to play, but he just pretty much says like, I don't know how people are thinking he's never coming back. He's never going to fight again.
Well, hey man, you said the only time he trains with you is when he's fighting. So we're like, all right.
I wonder how long ago that clip was from though too, because I couldn't really track it down. But it might have been something new. Yeah, I don't know.
What's this white bash's scumbag Punk Jones in 2014 Tex? How'd they get released?
Oh, because of what's that lawsuit? The antitrust lawsuit with the UFC. So they're opening up documents of text and stuff too. So
they even open up their text when in that.
Wait, but that's not the one they popped up. That's from Jon Jones, you said, right?
Yeah, yeah. Dana Jon Jones.
Yeah, I have that somewhere here too. Give me 1 sec.
Well, you find out you got to pee so bad.
We're live, dog. All right, cool. All right, so me and Casey, you talk about it. We'll talk about it then.
Gosh, we're live. Where are you
We
going?
are live. Yeah, he's got to pee. He's got to pee then.
What are we talking about?
So there's texts that were released because, during the antitrust lawsuit, there's like a discovery period. So you can open up this, all these
Why are you
different
bringing up
things
old shit?
from 2014. And then this is Dana White basically talking to the Fertittas. And he says, "What's up with Jones? Did he straighten up or is he still being a scumbag?" He asked the Fertittas. And I guess the Fertittas responded with, "Still a douche, but we're inching closer. Haven't moved on money, but sent a letter with an ultimatum."
I mean, at the time, that's kind of accurate. I mean,
He was not the best. Yeah. So that's a legit thing to happen.
Has Jones responded?
I haven't seen it. Awesome.
Let me see these texts.
You're back.
What's up, baby?
This right here. It starts right here.
So it says all pretty standard contract negotiated stuff with White and Fertitta. Seem pretty personally offended by Jones. So what's up with Jones? Who's that from?
Dana.
Did he straighten up or is he still being a scumbag? Okay. And he put still a douche, but we're getting inching closer. Haven't moved on money, but sent the letter with the ultimatum.
And then it goes here.
Awesome. F that punk. Lorenzo.
Oh,
Did you have to say Lorenzo?
that's not nice.
Awesome. F that punk, Lorenzo. He needs to know we don't need him or he will F us over more than he already does.
2014. So, yeah, that's when Jones was going through some stuff, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And then remember he turned down the Chael Sonnen fight in Canada.
And then, yeah.
It's not too bad.
Yeah, no, it's just like stuff that's just being released now because of the lawsuit.
He's saying way worse than that, That's not too bad.
All right. Let's go.
Emotions probably ran pretty high.
This is a pretty cool fight. Sean Brady versus Vicente Luque.
Poor Vicente Luque.
Main event.
Right? He's supposed to fight our boy Ian Gary, and they went, yeah, it's not happening. We're going to push that. Oh, and here's Sean Brady instead. He's like, what the It's a tough fight for Vicente.
Yeah, that's a really good matchup.
Great
for
matchup.
sure.
Great matchup.
And we already discussed this, but yeah, Zhang Weili versus Yan Xiaonan for UFC 300.
Everyone's like, this should be in China. Why isn't this in China? Shut up. Shut up.
They'll be watching, so it'll be fine.
Yeah, trying to be watching.
But
that's why it doesn't like blow my hair back.
No, and that's why when he announced it, so many people they're like, what?
Well, because he's like, I have a huge announcement for UFC 300. Well, here we go.
Yeah.
Then he was like, Weili versus Yan. We're all,
cool.
All right, thanks for that.
Yeah.
Oh, and then we're also going to do a ton of fights at the Apex. You're all, okay.
Sick.
Yeah, anticlimactic for sure. And then he was supposed to announce it on Tuesday, but then they said they were busy, so they did it on Wednesday. All of it was kind of a little bit of a mess. But this is a cool fight. Deiveson Figueiredo versus Cody Garbrandt.
Great fight.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Great fight.
Mm-hmm.
Cody's on 2-fight win streak. God bless him. Hopefully he gets it done against Figueiredo. He asked for this fight. Like, this is a great fight on UFC 300. Still, 300 not better than 299.
It needs more.
299 is tasty, bro. In Miami, that thing is popping. Popping. Like, why wouldn't you just make UFC 299 if nobody's complaining about 300 if it's the 299 card? Why would you make 299 better than 300? Granted, they're like, we don't get the,
They must
and
have
maybe it's
something.
just us who cares about 300. Maybe UFC's like, it's just a number. We don't give a shit anymore. You're just gonna bite no matter what. Just be happy with 299. It's like, all right, well, can't you just switch it over just to make us happy? Like, no, we don't care.
But it's their fault. They set the precedent by making 100 to 200
Yeah.
big events. It's like now we're expecting it.
You're living in the past, bro.
Yeah, you're right.
UFC, different animal now.
True. I do feel
Like,
they're
think
gonna
how
do
bad
something, though.
Saturday's card is. Just be honest with you. For $84.99 in HD or $79.99, whatever it is.
About $80 for sure, though.
$80? Terrible. If that was a fight night, you'd be like, I might watch some of it. Take off Strickland DDP.
Oh, yeah.
The rest of the card, Fight night, like I like Arnold Allen. Outside that, you're like, I don't know. You're not going to shut down your plans. You're not going to not go to Korean barbecue.
That is true.
Yeah, you're going to still carry on. Like, I'll catch him later. I'll record him. It's not like must-see TV. Just that main event.
Yeah, it is.
It's
definitely
rude.
main
It's
event
rude.
heavy.
It's rude.
Yeah, they have to have something planned that we just have no idea what it is.
Guarantee they do.
Yeah.
Guarantee it.
So Brandon Moreno was supposed to fight Amir Albazi, but Albazi has like some sort of neck injury.
That's a bummer because Albazi's a tough customer.
Yeah, but now he's rematching Brandon Royval in Mexico City for that fight.
Royval trying to fully redeem himself.
And this one came out of left field. This is crazy. This is a
Whoa.
mixed rules fight. So special mixed rules fight. Yoshihiro Akiyama, Sexyama versus Nieky Holzken, who's one of the best
Legend.
kickboxers,
Legend.
Muay Thai guys.
What a great super fight.
And here's the rules. It's kind of crazy. Round 1 will be under boxing rules. Round 2, Muay Thai. Round 3, MMA.
I don't know if it
And one
gets to
championship.
3. Yeah, I don't think it gets to 3. I think by round 2, Akiyama's bodies can go from bronze to blue.
Bronze to blue.
You know?
Yeah. I don't know.
That's dope, though.
Yeah. And
Great poster.
for sure, this is Akiyama's record as of late. Obviously, Shinya is not at his top peak performance these days, but he won that, and he won another one against Sheriff Muhammad. And then this is Nieky Holzken's record as of late for kickboxing.
Okay,
So,
so they're
two
both
losses
falling
in a
on
row.
tough times.
Yeah.
He beat our boy John Wayne Parr.
Yeah.
Son of a
That was a
bitch.
tough one. But that's a cool, that's a fun event, like boxing, then Muay Thai, and then MMA.
It's going to be tough for Sexyama to get out of those first 2 rounds. Very tough.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
Rose Namajunas, remember she moved up to flyweight, so she's staying there, and she's going to fight Amanda Ribas.
that's a good fight.
Ribas, yeah, March 23rd.
It's a fight night main event.
Yes, sir.
Exactly what it should be.
I'll just play this clip for you. This is Marlon Cheeto Vera talking about Corey Sandhagen.
As a man, as a real man that I am, and I qualify myself as, I will ask for Sandhagen because he beat me.
You want
And he
Sandhagen?
knows. Whatever they pick, I will do. But if I have to choose myself, I want to kick Corey's ass. I know his dark ass is crying about it.
I know his dorky ass is crying about it. It's not my fault. God, how great is Cheeto's hair right now? My word.
I honestly thought he was balding kind of, but then when
No.
he grows it out, it's like full.
Oh,
and
man,
thick.
it is.
Yeah.
That thing is flourishing.
And it grows so fast,
Yeah,
too.
he looks great. He looks so much better like this than when he shaves his head.
Yeah, man, hair. That's what it does. So there's this funny thing where Anthony Smith was talking to Michael Bisping, and he says he gives Jim Miller a 50-50 chance at winning against Brock Lesnar.
Absolutely
Obviously, it's for
not.
fun.
Absolutely not.
So they asked Jim Miller about it, and Jim's like, I think I could win too. He says as a fighter, the mentality, you have to think that way anyway.
Agree.
And he
That's
says he can get it
exactly
by
what Jim Miller should say.
a Kimura.
He's not pulling off any submission unless it's maybe an ankle lock or something like that.
He's just Kimura. That's his main thing.
Yeah, it's not happening. You know how big that arm is? It'd be all of Jim Miller's body just twerking on Brock. Fun to talk about. Ain't happening.
What do you think about him? His request for Bruce Buffer for UFC 300 to call him Jim effing Miller.
They should definitely do it.
And it's like pay-per-view, so you can do it, right?
Yeah, you can do it. It's also the UFC where guys have said the F word, the other one that rhymes with rag. You know, it's the UFC, dude.
Yeah.
They have Tucker Carlson, Donald Trump cage side. What's an F-bomb from Bruce Buffer, the great Bruce Buffer?
Yeah.
That'd be so epic. Also, would barely make news. It's the UFC.
It would be so
Strickland
cool.
DDP fought in the crowd.
Yeah, and they use that. They put it in HD. Remember, they use their
They
good
put
cameras.
HD. They had good cameras. They have all these like YouTubers, which is basically, let's talk about this. We've never seen this in any other league. People should know what's going on, and the hardcores know what's up. You've been around long enough. Do you realize they're doing? The UFC is doing what the White House is doing when they have those briefings, and they have select media members, no one that's going to ask like challenging questions. At least the White House allows one guy from Fox to be like, "Hey, what about this with Biden or the border control?" And then they're just like shut them down and move on to somebody who's going to ask the softball questions. What the UFC has done, so the antitrust law doesn't get brought up, is they kick out anybody like a Ira Hawani or Luke Thomas who's going to ask those tough questions. So the narrative doesn't get out there. So they've replaced all them, and they've just inserted like YouTube personalities, the Nelk Boys, insert whatever young kid who just got into MMA 2 days ago. So they have those guys as their media members who don't have a clue about antitrust, about the past, disgruntled fighters. They don't have any history of the UFC. They're just in the moment going, oh, man, what a great fight card in Toronto. This is insane you're doing this for us. I love the Apex. Slap fight's my favorite. When's Mark Zuckerberg going to fight? So they've eliminated anybody who's going to go, quick question, what are we going to do about this anti-lawsuit? It looks like it's getting steam. Have you heard anything? Because if you do, they go, next question, get him out of here. They never come back.
Yeah.
So now, if you notice, and again, I don't know if I'd do any different if I was a business. I get it. But notice there's no like legit journalists anymore in there. It's all these vaping, YouTube, it's that weird mix of, because they bring a fan base, this young fan base with them, and they're like, whoa, did you see that uppercut? Like they have no clue what's really going on. Oh, power slap. These athletes are insane. Like that's what the UFC wants. There's nobody who's going to question authority. There's nobody, hey, this matchup you promised, you say don't make fights after fights, yet you keep making fights. They have no context of historical context of what the UFC is about, how it became the UFC. So it's just these like softballs. It's just these softball questions. I'm so great to be here, man. Jon Jones, Brock Lesnar, we're ever going to see that? It's like, what are we doing? How's this moving the ball towards the goal line? But that the UFC wants to control the narrative. They're the best at it. I'm not shunning them for it. I'm just saying, pay attention to what's going on. Notice you're not getting Luke Thomas, Ariel's banned from there. Luke's not in there. The real hardcore guys who have been around a long time are going to have some questions. You're not seeing any of that.
So I agree with that for sure. But also the two guys that I would say kind of like get to the edge of it, like the threshold of it, is Kevin Iole and John Morgan. They kind of ask, like tougher questions, but they're not going too far.
And also, again, just like the White House, they know what's up.
Yeah.
And again, that's what pays their bills. Like, why would you? If you're either of those guys, why would you ask that antitrust? If you bring up antitrust law, you're out, dude. Your credentials are out. You're Ariel Helwani. You're out. You're never working another event again. So I'm not saying they should. I'm just saying, so you have those journalists there, and they're playing the game. And then you have all these, like, cupcake YouTubers who are like, oh, quick question. That uppercut was nuts, right? And Dan's like, it sure was. Next question. Well, this thing was sold out, man. This thing's packed to the gills. How's that make you feel? I feel good. Next question. Like, what is happening right now? Nobody's going to ask any of these questions? Nobody?
Yeah, it's a tough one, man. You don't want to lose.
No journalist going to ask about the USADA, what happened there with Conor coming back, the crazy testing, the new test. They control everything now. But there's no legit journalism. There's no pushback.
Yeah.
Those days are gone.
I get it. You have to play the game.
The White House does the exact same thing. You got to control the narrative.
Indeed.
Here's what it is. You also got to control your own destiny if you're selling merch. That's why there's Shopify. It's so easy, all because I started with Shopify. That's right. Cha-ching. All right. They got it done. Whatever you're selling, Shopify is the global commerce platform that helps you sell at every stage of your business. From the launch your online shop stage to the first real-life store stage, all the way, did we just hit 1 million order stage? Shopify's there to help you grow. Whether you're auction autograph apparel, selling sleek skis, whatever it is, Shopify helps you sell everywhere. From their all-in-one e-commerce platform to their in-person POS system, whatever you're selling, wherever, Shopify's got you covered. Shopify helps you turn browsers into buyers with the internet's best converting checkout, up to 36% better compared to the other leading commerce platforms. All right. Shopify powers 10% of all e-commerce in the U.S. and Shopify's global force behind Allbirds, Rothy's, and Brooklinen, and millions of other entrepreneurs of every size across 175 countries. Plus, Shopify's extensive help resource are there to support your success every step of the way. Because business that grow with Shopify. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/Schaub, all lowercase, SCHAUB, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/Schaub, all lowercase, now to grow your business no matter what stage you're in. Shopify.com/Schaub, all lowercase. Cha-ching!
Happy Hippo, new code.
Oh,
24.
new year, new code. It's Happy Hippo, the best kratom on planet Earth, the only company I ever freaking trust. I reached out to them because I use kratom every freaking day, whether I'm doing stand-up, podcasting, working out. Your boy's on that kratom, but I'm only on that Happy Hippo kratom. They got K-dips. It's basically like pouches if you dip, but it's kratom. They got the powders, gummy, taffy, whatever form you want to try kratom in, we got you covered. Delicious flavors. They have the highly concentrated shots. They got the energy shots, butterscotch, sour apple. We got it all for you. Go to happyhippo.com. Promo code is THICC with 3 C's 24. That's THICC24 for 20% off. All right, we got you, man. It's THICC24 at happyhippo.com for the best kratom on planet Earth. You're welcome. Oh, this one I'm excited for. We talking about Cage, the elite supplement brand, the super elite. If you're in the UFC, if you're in professional sports, or you're just a dad kicking ass, Caged is the best supplement that's ever touched these lips. This stuff is proven to work. It's third-party tested for banned substances, NSF Informed Sports Certified, all right? So you can trust what's in the bottle. Take all the guesswork out. Don't worry about what's in the bottle because it's third-party tested for banned substances. NSF Informed Sports Certified. That means if you're in the UFC with strict testing, if you're in some bodybuilding competition with strict testing, if you're in freaking the NFL, NBA, NHL, you can use Cage supplements. You can depend on Cage. These are the best of the best. Cage separates itself from the rest of the competitors. They have clean formulas, no colors or flavors from artificial sources, patented key ingredients, never generic alternative. For example, if you're using a pre-workout product, they're going to say, oh, we have all this caffeine in it, but it's synthetic caffeine. It's not good for you. Cage has pure organic caffeine. What's in the bottle is in the freaking bottle. Take all the guesswork out of it. My absolute favorite, how I got hooked on Cage, is the pre-workout elite. I use it every morning before workouts. And then their mindset. There's a lot of mind products out there. I challenge anybody to try Mindset and tell me there's a better product on the market. We talk about the Limitless pill. This is a Limitless powder. It is by far the best supplement for your brain, for your focus, for podcasting, for just getting in the zone every single time. This is the real deal, Holyfield. I will guarantee you, anybody out there, find a better product for your mind. There's a lot of stuff out there. I've advertised mind stuff before. Nothing touches Mindset. This is how I got connected with Cage. It is the best product I've ever tried for my brain. Mindset Elite is insane. Every morning, I have a little scoop of that. I have a little scoop of the pre-workout elite, and your boy is off and running. A lot of people go, how do you have so much energy? You do all these shows. How do you do this? Maintain your life schedule, your business schedule, being a dad. I'm telling you, a lot of it is due to Cage. Straight up, a lot of it's due to Cage. So the stuff works. The science speaks for itself. Third-party tested. Don't worry about any of that stuff when you're talking about Cage. They're for you. If you're ready to train harder, live healthier, and become the strongest version of yourself, Cage is for you, all right? All you got to do is go to caged.com. That's KAGED.com. Use the code SCHAUB, SCHAUB. You get 20% off Mindset, the pre-workout, Hydration Elite. They got protein, all right? These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. It's just made to get your mind right, to get your body right. It's 2024. A lot of you have resolutions, try and get in shape. I'm telling you, let Cage be that partner for you. Let them carry you on your journey, and you will not regret it. Cage.com, K with a cage, KAGED.com. Promo code is SCHAUB for 20% off. The best supplements ever.
Awesome. All right. Islam Makhachev posted this on X. His plan. So June 8th, UFC pay-per-view versus Gaethje. November, UFC MSG versus Oliveira or Arman, whoever wins.
Because when's Ramadan start?
It changes every year, right? I don't know. When is Ramadan?
I mean, take my money. Gaethje, Makhachev, I'll watch that all day.
March 10 to April 9.
So March, April, May, June. Yeah, so he'll have a full camp if he fights in June. And then obviously he can fight in November. Yeah, I like Makhachev's plan there. Gaethje Makhachev is so much more exciting than Charles Oliveira. We've seen that.
Yeah.
Sarukian's the one you want to see. That's the fight. I think he beats Gaethje pretty easily. But the Sarukian one, they fought before. It was, first fight in the UFC. There's a lot of history there. Sarukian and Makhachev so much better. Like, that's the fight. At 55, that's the freaking fight.
Definitely a fun fight. So Mark Hunt was on MMA Hour, and he said that he was recently offered to fight somewhere in Australia and to throw it for like a few $1 million. Like, that actually came to his table. I mean, he didn't take it, obviously.
Do they know who Mark Hunt is? I mean, it's like asking Diaz, bro, to throw a fight. These guys,
but for a few $1 million, it's like, yeah. And he said he could have really used the money too, but he didn't take it. So great on him.
So they would only give him the money if he threw the fight. What if he knocked the guy out? He doesn't get paid.
No, he can't. He can't do that.
Oh, because he would have to build.
He would have to
build a guy. So he goes, I've always been one that says if things aren't right, they aren't right. I was offered $3 or $4 million to take a dive in a fight here in Australia, and I said, are you serious? I said, no, because that's just not me. Although I could have done with the money, I was going through some hard times with separation and crap. But I could have done with $3 or $4 million. It's just not my character. It's not me. I'd rather just go out on my shield and then lose or die, but that's not what I'm about. Yeah, that would be the last guy you approach to throw a Mark Hunt. Do they not know the fight business? There's a few guys like, yeah, maybe throw that his way. Mark Hunt? Yeah, what are we doing? It's Mark friggin' Hunt.
It's crazy it's still happening, though.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, people are still asking. So Mikey Musumeci posted this not too long ago, 3 days ago. So there's a guy who's a YouTuber. I guess he started off as a streamer. He's very popular, but he's hated. I guess he was making fun of Mikey Musumeci. He said, like, people that do jiu-jitsu are autistic, something like that. And so this is what Mikey did afterwards.
Let me see this.
Bullies. Bullies are weak people that make fun of others around them to give themselves relevance and then make themselves feel good. They pick on the differences of humans, which is the most beautiful part of humans, their uniqueness. I really don't like bullies, guys. And there's this guy named Sneeko making fun of me, making fun of my friend, making fun of jiu-jitsu. He calls himself a boxer. I'm a jiu-jitsu guy. Let's have an MMA fight. I challenge Sneeko to an MMA fight. I'm going to shut his mouth and I'm going to take the bully's lunch money. Today I'm going to talk...
So he challenged that guy Sneeko, and that Sneeko guy said, like, yeah, I do boxing, a little bit of boxing, but Mikey would still win no matter what if it's MMA, because he would grab his leg or something like that.
Yeah, Floyd Mayweather does boxing. Listen,
I know.
Listen, hold on. Tyson Fury does boxing. Anthony Joshua does boxing. Francis Ngannou does boxing. Mikey would beat all of them in an MMA match.
Mm-hmm.
You know how good he is at jiu-jitsu? This is the Sneeko kid. Why Sneeko hated?
I guess he just talks a lot of crap. So he started off as a streamer, then he started doing commentary on YouTube. But I guess he just talks a lot of crap. And so he was kicked off multiple platforms too. But yeah. Anyway, Mikey challenged him. He's not taking the challenge. So it's cool that Mikey stood up for someone being a bully. But then Sneeko did say, like, that's what I do for a living. I just talk smack. It's just kind of like, That's the nature of kids today. Like this young audience. Like, no, I just talk smack. I'm not actually trying to back it up. Mm-hmm. And speaking of One Championship, they're going to be back in the U.S. with 2 shows this year.
Back at Ball Arena in Denver, Colorado, baby. Although last time they were at Broomfield Event Center, they sold that bad boy out, so they're stepping their game up. They're at the Ball Arena. That's where the Nuggets play. Ever heard of them? World champion Nuggets. That's September 6th. Then November 8th, they're at State Farm Arena in Atlanta. There's going to be some big boy fights. I know that for a fact. Big boy fights.
Yeah, it should be fun. This is a little clip of Daniel Cormier, and all I got from this was apparently one of Daniel's students, one of his wrestling students, he didn't want to, show sportsmanship and shake hands. So you can see Daniel right here, kind of just pushing him to go shake.
He's saying you shake his hand,
and then Daniel does shake this guy's hand right here.
Yeah, he was not having it. This guy said, don't care if it's DC or not. You don't touch my child like that. Really? What are you going to do?
I mean, that was just like, come on, pushing towards like, to shake hands. He's not hitting him or anything.
They're not hitting. He's not. The kid's obviously, like.
And that's a good lesson to learn.
The kid's not 4. He's shoving him down.
Jon Jones was in California recently, so he already has his pec tour, but he had to go get some stuff removed.
Good time to do it. It's good time to do it now. But when he comes back, he's full strength. This is, smart.
Yeah. So
might as well get it done
birds,
while you
one
can't.
stone.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, let me play this clip real quick. Hold on. I guess this is from Karate Combat, and then this is just some fight that's happened in the stands, and then someone tried to film Arlovsky.
Is that Arlovsky throwing?
No.
Oh.
They tried to film me. He's just like, get that camera out of my face, and just knocked his
But
phone
yes,
over.
I did. Don't stick your phone in my face. Yeah, Arlovsky don't mess around.
Yeah, and I think this is going to be the last one. This is just funny. This is Johnny Walker with the little belt on his hand, and he says,
It's pretty cool to see that Johnny Walker try his belt on. That's funny.
Yeah, I think that's it, dude.
All right, brother. We did all
Just
the reads.
fights. We did all the reads, right? Yes.
All right. Yeah, big pay-per-view going down this freaking Saturday. Sean Strickland, DDP. It's going down. I got Strickland, but who freaking knows these days? Make sure you tune in to JRE Fight Companion with Joseph Rogan, Joey Diaz, Eddie Bravo, and myself. And then the following week, I will be back in Austin, but the tour, the Keep on Truckin' tour, kicks off in Nashville. That's next Thursday, 2 nights at Zany's in Nashville. And then Friday, Saturday, I will be in Austin, Texas. That's at the Vulcan Gas Company, the Step Mothership in Austin, Texas, January 26th, 27th. Get your freaking tickets. Nashville and Austin next week. Tour kicks off. Keep on trucking. Get your tickets at thickboy.com. Enjoy the fights this weekend. Like, subscribe. Love you guys. Stay safe out there. See you next week.